Welcome back to Xbox Corner. My name is Alex and today we're taking a look at the Gunk, the latest release from Image and Form. That's the team behind the mighty SteamWorld universe. But can it stand up to their usual pedigree? Well, a thank you first of all to them for supplying the review copy today. And with that, hit subscribe, join us here on Xbox Corner for reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns and graphical comparisons weekly. And let's get started. Historian will be taking on the role of Rani, a space scavenger travelling alongside a partner who operates your ship and generally keeps the home base ticking. The stakes here, they start small with this one. You've got bills to pay, something we can all relate to, and you're looking for resources to go ahead and sell. Naturally though, things of course escalate quickly. Quickly though, you uncover the title Gunk has taken over, it's damaging this world. You want to get to the bottom of it though, because there's actually an extremely rare and valuable resource here. Expect along the way though, friendships to be challenged, mystery to uncover, and the secret behind a shattered civilization. It's good stuff. Really liked our characters. There's constant communication between them that builds on their personality but also pushes the story forward. And yeah, if you want adventure, I do not think you'll be disappointed. So gameplay, and essentially what we have here is a third-person action platformer. Controls are simple enough. Initially you move with the left stick, rotate the camera with the right, and then use your trusty power glove, great name by the way, to clean up this world. That final piece, pretty traditional shooter style gameplay, aim with the left trigger, suck it up with the right. This though quickly evolves. You see, in this world, during your exploration, you'll come across not only the title Gunk, but resources that do benefit you. 2 examples, organic and metal, but there's 5 in all to uncover. These can be used though for upgrades to our trusty glove and character. These upgrades, they take place at your ship thanks to a workbench that's probably established in the first 15 or so minutes of gameplay once your ship has landed. These upgrades are predominantly focused on the glove, but some early examples: the ability for our character to sprint, the option to suck up the gunk quicker, distraction devices for your enemies, the ability to pick up certain items, and then even a shield. There's 16 in total to uncover, and on my playthrough I got the option to add 10 in total. You can have as many of these active as you want. You earn these unlocks not only by gathering the necessary resources though, but first you need to actually understand them by scanning the local environment with the right trigger. This scan function as well, I found it surprisingly addictive, and I found myself constantly going off course to keep adding to my database of information on this world. To save you time as well, the game handily marks things you've already researched in red, and those you can still look into with green. This is when you're using that left trigger aim. It's a nice thing, it's a nice touch, it definitely keeps the pace moving forwards. While I don't think you would want to either, you could potentially get through the entire game without any upgrades outside of maybe 2. The first one's actually forced on you, that is grab. The reason for this, much of the environment is plant life and some will be used to your advantage if you can pick them up. You'll come across small pools of glowing liquid, throw a plant in here and platforms for you to traverse will be created. Likewise then, junk may get in your way, it may block a path. Some of these plants will act as bombs. You'll also then need to add a shoot functionality to your repertoire later in the game, but think here more for environmental interactions over, enemy confrontations. The gunk then, no doubt what you are all most curious about, is surprisingly satisfying. Sucking up this gunk, it has a great feel to it all as you target each section, and it rewards you on clearing each location with a pop on screen that restores the world to its natural beauty. It's often also absolutely necessary as well, because on restoration, it reveals the next path for you to take. The gunk as well, it starts stable, it's not moving anywhere, simple enough to tackle, but will get more aggressive with progression. First, simply moving on a set path, eventually coming right at you. It's never particularly challenging, but it does give that nice sense of the scenario escalating. Alongside the gunk then, there are enemies. With my entire playthrough I saw in total 4. You get like a spider one, a bull style that charges at you. There's one I'd describe as a turret. I wish it had more, honestly, because the creativity is clear and they could have lent into it just a little bit more. I also mentioned early on then, think of the gun more as environmental interactions over combat, and that's because it doesn't destroy these enemies. Rather, it stuns them. You'll still need to use your power glove to finish the job. The final part of gameplay then, outside of platforming and gunk Gunk is basic environmental puzzles. This typically though, activate a switch, uncover a path or open a door. That's kind of consistent throughout, but I enjoyed them, they drove exploration. Now though, let's take a look at a few of the game's issues. First, the platforming, great fun, I loved the exploration, the world has some fantastic designs in here, but two issues stood out to me. First, you can only climb ledges marked with almost pink yellow paint, kind of a traditional game mechanic, no question about it, but it's frustrating when you can clearly jump and reach something but can't interact. Led to a few moments when I jumped just short, felt my death, knowing this would have been a simple fix. For me, for this issue, the design it needed to be you simply can't reach certain ledges. On death actually as well, while I'm talking about falling a ton of times, enemy damage is relatively weak. You can fall as many times as you pretty much want until you'll see a game over screen, and even when you do, the checkpoints they are frequent. The second issue then, earlier in the video I mentioned growing platforms with these pools. When they first spawn, they are not solid, you will simply be standing in them. This should have had collision detection to push you out of the way, or you jump up maybe and they go solid below you. This is no doubt an issue they faced with characters getting stuck in this world, and this was the solution, but I think there are better options. Instead you have to kind of walk out of the plant, wait a split second, then jump on. It kind of slows down the natural flow of the game. My final point on gameplay then, it's not a negative, but the game is short. All in, this took me around 3.5 hours. I went off the main course as well a few times, and I finished with a gamer score north of 800. That means there is reason to replay the adventure, but not out of changing up your actions. It is very much linear. Rather, you're going to be looking into missing upgrades and rounding out your 1000 score. I also want to add here though as well that runtime, the reason I don't mind it is because I think it suits the gameplay. It's punchy, it never gets boring given how, simplistic it is. So yeah, gameplay wise it has a few shortcomings, but overall I had a good time and there's a ton of potential for this universe. So visually I think it's stunning, I adore the visual style they went for here. The use of colour is what will hit you first, a dull, desolate planet that gives way to colour after a flash on your screen once the gunk is cleared. That never gets old. It also escalates quickly, do not think this is all going to be fields and greenery, we'll mix it up with the past civilization that was here. I played it on the Series X, so I gotta say the frame rate is completely stable, the image is nice and sharp. The new system, it for sure benefits from the vibrancy of the image. The real winner for me though, it's gotta be the animations. I just love the way the gunk moves, the way our character moves. She's small, but you get a real feel of weight behind her and her equipment. And then also the enemies, they are limited but definitely fun. Issues wise for visuals, it's third person platforming, expect the occasional bit of the camera getting stuck, a downfall of the genre. The gunk can even get in the way of the camera as well, but that actually added to the intensity of the scene. And then finally, the voice acting, the lips of these characters and the syncing, it's here, but it's definitely minimal, it does not feel natural. Audio finally, and good stuff, the music's great, it's orchestral but throws in a dash of ambient style electronic when needed to great effect. The sound effects are strong outside of two minor moments where an audio clip didn't play out for me, and the weapons, the gunk, it all comes with effects attached which go a long way to bringing this world to life. The real winner though, I thought the voice acting was just top quality. It gets the balance right between knowing when to be a little over the top and comical given that visual style, but then also when to lean into the emotion of the scene. So overall, the Gunk is an ambitious release, at least visually, given the studio's past work in the mighty SteamWorld universe. It feels like they went all out on a scale to give us this 3D action platformer that tries something just a little bit different, which for the most part, I gotta give it to them, it absolutely works. There's a whole lot of satisfaction just in cleaning up this gunk. The world is beautiful to look at and the story pacing I really enjoyed. A routine scavenger hunt quickly evolves into something bigger. It's kind of the classic becoming a hero tale, which I think we all enjoy. That said though, it has issues. The platforming restrictions can get a little frustrating. Enemy variety, it's minimal, and I think it would have benefited from more. The platforms and the plants, they don't become interactable instantly, which hurts the pacing. And then for some, that runtime will put a question mark over whether it's going to be worth a purchase. For me though, it's a good 7 out of 10. I see opportunity, but I also found a lot to like, and hopefully this is now a world we see more of in the future, because I think many of you are going to have a great time. Will you be adding this one to the library then, or is this simply not for you? Without then, hit subscribe, but join us here on XboxCorner for reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns and graphical comparisons weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.